themselves with Jerusalem, God says they shall be cut in pieces. Now, I'm going to tell you the meaning behind that, because Jerusalem is a people before it's a place.
Yes, right.
So America has burdened themselves with keeping us hostage here, because that's what we are. They're going to be cut in pieces. They took our land, our land of Jerusalem. The Bible says, you burden yourself with that, you shall be cut in pieces.
Think of all the times when they passed you over for the job. Think of all the times when you was done dirty by our enemies, man. That's the angle you got a chance. But think of your fathers if you never been to. All right? Think when they was whipping our fathers, man, cutting our women's stomach open. Big white men beating little black women upside their head. Think of that. Some brothers' kids have died. Wife has left them. Many things have happened to us, man. But in the kingdom of heaven, man, all that stuff is gonna go away. We gotta keep our mind on it. Keep the soldiers in mind of the mission. The mission is getting the kingdom of heaven. Ruling over these devils that are precious. That's the mission. That's the goal.
Hey, brother. Just come here for a second, brother. Do you believe in the Bible? Do you believe in the Bible? Do you believe in the Bible? Okay. So if you look on the sign, what's your who do you descend from? So who's your father? Judah, right? Okay. So we're about to get some curses to prove to you that the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, that we're not niggas, that we're not Negroes, we're not Spics, but we are the true people of the book.
That's right.
That we diverse skin.
Verse 32, thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
So it says, thy sons and thy daughters shall be given to another people. So who did that happen to? That happened to us. Right, right. So let me ask you this. So did that happen to any other group of people? The sons and daughters given to another people. It looks like you kind of on the fence, but we're about to bring out some more curses. Right, okay. All right, but it's about to get a little bit more descriptive. You finish that up.
And thy eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long.
Okay, because have you saw the movie 12 Years a Slave? Have you never saw the movie Roots? You seen Roots? Okay, so when Kizzy was given off to like another slave master, we didn't have any power, any might, anything that we could do to get our people back, right? All right, now jump down to verse, what do they want, 37?
Verse 37, and thou shalt become an astonishment, and a proverb, and a byword among all nations whither the Lord shall lead thee.
So it says that we will become a proverb and a byword. Hey, brother, yeah, so what's a proverb? Yeah, do you know what a proverb is? Right, it's like a wise saying. For example, if you want to hide anything from a nigga, where you put it? Put it in the book, right? So it says that we will become a proverb and a byword. Yeah, so what's a byword? A byword is anything outside of what God calls you. So nigga, Negro, African American, black, all these are bywords that are placed upon who? Us, right? Read.
Whither the Lord shall lead thee, and thou shalt carry much seed into the field.
All right, jump down to 46.
Verse 46. And they shall be upon thee for a sign.
Right, so it says that these curses would be upon the children of Israel for a sign. Yeah, so what does a sign do? It identifies something, right? So that sign right there, Nikki D lets me know that that's Coney Island, right? So the same way that sign identifies, that these curses would identify who the children of Israel are today. All right, but read on.
And a wonder, and upon thy seed forever.
And it says that these curses would be upon thy seed forever, meaning our forefather generation to our generation, it would be upon them forever. All right, read.
Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart, for abundance of all things.
Right. So because we didn't serve the Lord, we would be placed in this lower state. And we would be identified under curses. All right, read on.
Therefore shall thy serve thy enemy.
So, because we didn't keep God's law, statutes, and commandments, we would have to serve our enemies. Who is our enemy? Okay, yeah, we're about to get a little bit more clarification. Yeah, finish.
Serve thy enemy, which the Lord shall send against thee.
Right, so the Lord sent our enemies against us, read.
In hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things.
So it says, in hunger we will have to serve our enemies. So in hunger, so who do you get your food from? Who owns the grocery stores?
White.
Yeah, what'd you say, brother?
White. European.
Right, the white man, right? So it says, in thirst. So if you're thirsty, who do you have to go to for water? Water department. And who owns that? Now, isn't water a natural resource? It's free. It falls out the earth, right? Well, it falls from the sky, right? So, right. So, in today's time, we can't even collect rainwater yet without being fined or taxed for it. Yeah, did you know that? All right. Yeah, read on. Well, yeah, start from the top again.
Therefore shall thou serve thy enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness.
And in nakedness. So if you want clothes, who do you have to go to it for? Yeah, because we don't own Macy's, we don't own all these clothing stores. And more importantly, we may have like the name, like the Sean John and labels like that, but we don't own like the textile, like the manufacturing, right? All right, then read on.
And in want of all things.
And in want of all things. So if you want a birth certificate, death certificate, social security card, driver's license, who do we have to go to for that? Right. So it says that we will have to serve our enemies in want of all things. Who's doing that right now? We are, right? Now, keep reading.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee.
Right, so it says this enemy will put a yoke of iron upon our necks. So when did we have yokes of iron upon our necks? All right, come take a look at this. Right, so read that part again.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee.
So that he, who is that he again? Yeah, because looking at the sign, this only happened to who? Us. So is the Bible a true book? It's a true book, right? So it says, read it again.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee.
So we're not physically destroyed because we're still standing here. So the destroyed that it's talking about, mentally destroyed. We're mentally destroyed. Yeah, because so if you look at our people, you'll notice that a lot of our people, they'll have a car that costs more than their house. Isn't that mentally destroyed? We'll wait in line all day for a pair of Jordans that cost $200-300, right? That's mentally destroyed. What other nation of people do that? None, right? All right, give me verse 68.
Verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
So it says, now the Lord is going to bring these people into Egypt again. But Egypt has a specific meaning. Give me that, Exodus 22.
The book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse 2. Verse 2. I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
All right, so what does Egypt mean? Yep, y'all missed it. Bondage. So what's another word for bondage? Slavery. All right, so now, so when we read the Bible, we have to go precept upon precept, all right? Right, line upon line, all right.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Slavery again.
With ships.
With what?
Ships.
With ships. With ships. What other nation of people went into slavery on slave ships? And if you look at this, it's documented throughout history. Everybody knows that the so-called Negroes of today went into slavery on slave ships, cargo slave ships. That only happened to us. So if you look, if you read the sign, so the first three, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, those are the so-called blacks, right, of Haiti, America, and the West Indies, right? So the rest of the 10 tribes, those are the so-called Hispanics and Native Americans. Oh, they are the tribe of Asher, I believe. They're the tribe of Asher. All right, yeah, finish that.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou.
So he said that he's going to put us into Egypt again, meaning slavery again, on ships. And it says, by the way whereof I speak it to you. So he's saying, just like the way that I'm speaking it to you is exactly how it's going to happen. Read.
By the way whereof I speak unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
So it says that we shall not see our homeland again. So where is our homeland? Huh? Africa? So you think Africa is the motherland? Egypt? So you know something, brother. You know something. Okay. So get me Galatians 4:26. Read this.
The book of Galatians, chapter 4, verse 26. But Jerusalem, which is above, is free.
So it says Jerusalem, which is above, is free. Like you said, brother. Read.
Which is the mother of us all.
It's the what?
Mother of us all.
So it says Jerusalem is the mother of us all. So what's the motherland? Jerusalem. Jerusalem is the motherland. There is nobody fighting over Africa. Where's everybody fighting over? Everybody wants that land right there. Why? It's prime real estate. Yeah, because you know what? That's where the Garden of Eden is. All right? Now go back.
Verse 68. The Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
Right, so it says, after we got off those ships, we would be sold unto our enemies. So, who were we sold to? The Arabs, the whites, and the Africans. Right. We were sold to every other nation. Every other nation. All right.
For bondmen,
for slave men,
and bond women,
and slave women,
and no man shall buy you.
And no man shall buy us, meaning no man shall redeem us from out of the situation that we were in. You had Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King. All those people tried to redeem us, tried to get us out of the situation or the condition that we were in. But it didn't work. Right, because we're still at a lower state. We're still at a lower state. Now get me Psalms chapter 83 and 6. Yep, about the enemies. Right, because we pointed out a few of our enemies. Yeah, we said so-called Africans, the so-called white man, the so-called Arabs. Go read that. 2.
The book of Psalms, chapter 83,
I started
verse 1. Keep not thy silence, O God. Hold not thy peace. Be not still, O God.
Right, so this is King David. He's in the spirit, and he has prophesied of what was going to happen to us in the last days. Read.
For lo, thy enemies make a tumult.
So it says thy enemies make a tumult, meaning our enemies, they have came together. All right, read.
And they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
And it says they that hate thee lifted up their head, meaning they became very prideful. Yeah, because we know that these nations are very prideful, especially against the children of Israel. Read.
They have taken crafty counsel.
Crafty counsel. What's crafty counsel? Trickery. Trickery, right? So they have think tanks set up against God's people to keep us down. All right, read.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consorted against thy hidden ones.
Right, because we are the hidden ones. Because our people don't know who they are today. That's why we're hidden. Read.
And thy hidden ones, they have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation.
So they wanted to cut us off from being a nation. And the way that they do that is they separate us. They say, okay, you go into Catholicism, you go into Islam, you go into Baptist, yep, you go into Jehovah's Witness. That's splitting us up. That's dividing us. It's called what? Divide and conquer, right? Read.
They have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
Right, because I'll say before the 1960s, 1950s, no black person was calling themselves Israel. Oh, it's not true. Oh, so what's the history? Okay. 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 Well, actually, yeah, get his brother a flyer. You got a flyer? I get his brother a flyer. Okay. All right, bro.
Check it out.
Okay. All right, bro.
They have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consorted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee.
Meaning that all these nations got together and are against God's chosen people. Read.
The tabernacles of Edom.
So the first nation of people that King David said was the tabernacles of Edom. Does anybody know who Edom is? Edom. Edom is the so-called white man today. But he's not white. He's red, right? Yeah, but if you look at him, yeah, because what do they call him down south? Rednecks, right? But he calls himself white because what? Yeah, he wants to appear pure to everybody. So, like he's so holy. And what they call us. Right, and what's associated with that? Right, evil. But are we really black? Right, we're different shades of brown. So, a matter of fact, the first man that was created was what? Brown. So let's prove that. Give me Genesis 2 and 7. So let's prove that.
The book of Genesis, chapter 2, and verse 7.
Bring it out!
And the Lord God formed man out of the dust of the ground, and he breathed into his nostrils the breath of life.
Right, so it says, the Lord formed man out of the dust of the ground. So what color is the dust of the ground? Brown. And the deeper you go, the darker it gets. So the first man, who was Adam, he was what? He was a so-called brown or black man, right? So, since we know that, so the so-called white man, so in the Bible it calls him Edom. Edom. So let's find out a little bit about where this man comes from. Give me Genesis 25:25. Actually start about 23.
The book of Genesis, chapter 25, and verse 21. And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife, because she was barren. And the Lord was entreated of him. And Rebekah, his wife, conceived.
Right, so Isaac and Rebekah. So this is back in Genesis. So Rebekah was pregnant, and she was pregnant with twins. All right, and this is what the Most High said about her. Read.
And the children struggled together within her.
So it says that the children struggled together within her, meaning they were fighting. Read.
And she said, if it be so, why am I thus?
The Lord says, Lord, if I'm pregnant because you allowed this to happen, why am I having these issues in my belly? Like, why are these kids fighting? Read.
Why am I thus? And she went and inquired of the Lord. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb.
2 what?
Nations are in thy womb.
So it says 2 nations are in her womb, meaning 2 different manner of people. All right, read.
And 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels.
Right, 2 manner of people, meaning that these twins that she has in her belly, that they will have different mannerisms. All right? So, what kind of twins are these? Huh? Yep, are they identical or fraternal? They're what? Right, fraternal. Meaning they don't look alike, but they're the same. Like, you know what I mean? Read.
And one people shall be stronger than the other.
Now it says that one people shall be stronger than the other. So we can tell who that is right off the back, right? Because the so-called blacks, we're stronger than them, right? If you look at sports, if you look at anything, we excel in those areas. We even excel in intelligence. But because they had a 400-year head start on us, they say that, oh, we created all this. But what they actually did was they stole it, right? Because they had the power to do so and rewrite history. Read.
And the elder shall serve the younger.
Now it says that the elder shall serve the younger. The elder shall serve the younger. So whoever comes out first is going to serve the one that comes out last. Read.
And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb.
There were twins. Read.
And the first came out red all over.
So it says that the first came out red all over. Like what?
Like an hairy garment.
Like a hairy garment. So, what type of man is this? It said he came out red and hairy all over. So who is that? Huh? The white man. So-called white man. So he's not white, he's red. And he's hairy. Read.
And they called his name Esau.
So his name was called Esau. But it translates over into Greek to Edom, like we read about in Psalms. So Edom and Esau is the same thing. All right? Read.
Verse 30. Yeah. Verse 30. And Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with the same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore his name is called Edom.
Right. Edom. Edom.
And Jacob said, sell me this day thy birthright. And Esau said, behold, I am to the point to die. And what profit shall this birthright do to me?
Right, so that just goes into the history of how Esau lost that birthright, right? Because he came out first. So in the old times, the eldest was the one that received all the blessings from the father. But if you read further in the story, he sold his birthright to Jacob. And Jacob inherited all the blessings. So we are Jacob. We are Jacob. We are the 12 tribes of Israel, according to the Bible. All right? Now, so let me ask y'all this. How do y'all repent? How do you repent? How do you repent? Huh? Ask for forgiveness? What would you say, bro? Yeah, read that.
The book of Acts, chapter 3, verse 19. Repent ye therefore, and be converted.
Yeah, so what does it mean to be converted? Changed, right? So we're about to find out what changes you. All right? Psalm 19, verse 7.
Read on. The book of Psalms, chapter 19, and verse 7. The law of the Lord is perfect.
So it says God's laws are perfect. There's nothing wrong with God's laws. Read.
Converting the soul.
So God's laws is what converts us. So in order for us to be converted, we have to be keeping God's laws, right? Okay, let's get some laws. Give me Numbers chapter 15, verse 38. Yeah, because a lot of times our people spend so much time in Christianity, because Christianity tells us that God's laws are done away with. But that's not true. God's laws are still in effect today. So brother, I know you probably didn't know this, but this is a law that we have to keep. Read.
The book of Numbers, chapter 15, verse 38. Speak unto the children of Israel.
Speaking to the children of Israel, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, read.
And bid them
And command them,
that they make them fringes in the borders of their garment.
and make them fringes in the borders of their garments. So brother, do you know what fringes are? Right. Right, what all the brothers up here have on, fringes in the borders of their garments. Read.
Throughout their generation.
So it says throughout their generation. So what does that mean? Forever. Forever. Read.
And that they put upon the fringe of the borders.
Right, so just like you have here, you have a border of blue. Read.
And it shall be unto you for a fringe, that ye may look upon it and remember all the commandments of the Lord.
Right, so we wear these fringes to remind us, right, to keep the commandments of the Lord. So, for example, if you see a big booty woman walk by, you're supposed to look down at your fringes and be like, yep, thou shalt not lust. Yep, thou shalt not covet, right?
Shalom, Israel. I'm Elder Nathaniel of Israel United in Christ. YouTube likes to shut our channels down, as some of you have noticed, ever so often. Subscribing to join IUIC will assure you will always stay connected to our YouTube accounts. We want to do our best to make sure this truth gets out. Please click and join our subscriber YouTube channel called Join IUIC to stay linked to all of our videos. So again, please make sure you subscribe to this Join IUIC channel to get your latest updates from all our YouTube channels. Shalom.